Mm-mm-mm. Oh yeah, I'm testing two webcams today. Two 4K webcams, the EMEET C960 Ultra and the Logitech MX Brio 4K. Is it MX Brio 4K? I'm testing those webcams side by side today. And the question I really want to ask before we get started is, which one is which? In the video you're seeing right now, which one is really which? One is about 93 pounds, one is about 185 pounds, or 200 pounds, or 160 pounds, or 220 pounds, depending on the website you're buying from. And the question is almost double the price really worth it for your buck? And which one should you really purchase as an independent creator, even for your IT needs or as a small business? Because I'm going to be covering all the scenarios in today's video. As a full disclosure, EMEET provided both cameras for this review. Yes, they sent me the C960 Ultra and cover the cost of the Logitech MX Brio 4K so that I can give a proper comparison. The opinions I'm going to give you in this video, they are truly mine, 100% mine. EMEET is not seeing this video before you or anyone else. They're seeing it at the same time I'm publishing this video. And of course, if EMEET won this case, so be it. So let us get right into the video. I'm only going to focus the video footage on the webcam itself and not my Canon R8 footage right there, but of course for some B-rolls and some really effects I'm gonna go right there. Both of the packages arrive in tidy premium packaging. To be honest, you cannot fault any of the brands for this one. Both are plug and play over USB-C, no drivers, no force, although they both do have apps that you can use with them if you want to customize settings and all that. But the footage right here that you're seeing right now, except I state otherwise, are actually raw footage, same comparison with no modifications done on the image quality, on the zoom or field of view or whatever the camera and webcams have to offer. So that is the view right there. And this is where I'm going to really start to switch views right there. So this is one of the cameras, one of the webcams looking straight at me in the default quality. They are the same eye level in my camera setup here. So there's no something like I raised something above the other one. And this is the other camera in the full view. No modifications done to the color. Who is this set of webcams for? And what do you need to think about if you're buying this either as a business or an IT admin or IT lead in your company? Because they are both 4K webcams and they are catered for two different set of buyers. The Logitech MX Brio 4K is mainly built for business users. Okay, it's built for fleet management. And also, it plugs into Logitech software so that IT can roll it out and manage the devices as the same fit. Which, of course, if that is you, it's a real advantage. Do not just read that as business buy Logitech and everyone else buys EMEET. That is not it, because EMEET genuinely makes great webcams. And I've used some of their cameras in the past. This is the EMEET StreamCam one that I still own, that I still use from day to day. They are really FT and solid. These are keepers. Even if I'm doing giveaways of all my gadgets, I'm gonna keep this too, okay? And it's not because they send me these webcams or cameras, it's because I've seen the quality they do offer. And thing is, big companies, large corporations will probably go for a Logitech and probably say, EMEET, not one of these things they'll consider. But the thing is, for businesses that actually don't want to burn money, and I'm going to give a TLDR here, that don't want to burn money, before we go to the webcam quality, I think the C960 might be the better buy. And I'm going to tell you why in the course of this video review on and on. So if you want quality 4K videos for your streaming, for your video calls and everything that looks natural, you will consider either of these two, right? But spoiler alert, just take this. If you're not watching this video anymore, take this one. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Let me strip away all the marketing. Both of these webcam, they shoot in 4K, 30 frames per second. Both do also 60 frames per second, both at 1080p, which is great. So far, so good. That is a tie. The sensor of the webcams is where the fight really starts to shine. The sensor is where things really do get interesting for this webcam rather, because the C960 Ultra uses 1/1.5-inch Sony sensor. This is big for a 4K webcam under 100 pounds. The sensor size is extraordinary. On the other hand, the Logitech MX Brio uses a Sony Starvis sensor, which is with bigger pixels than the old Brio. Logitech is quieter about the exact size of the sensor really. Bigger sensor, more light, cleaner image as they claim. That is physics, not software, because to be honest, the C960 I think to me looks more naturally and does not sort of bluify my face. That is my personal opinion on that anyway. Take it as you wish. My personal preferences. Now, here's my face on both cameras. You've been seeing it all the while. Which one do you really prefer? Let me see in the comment section. So this one, and I'm going to label it while I'm doing my editing. This is the C960 and this is the MX Brio. Which quality do you really prefer? And I decided not to zoom out or zoom in on any of the pictures. I just cropped them equally with the way I would do stuff and try to stay centered. And this is how they both came out. To be honest, the EMEET C960 Ultra looks a touch more neutral and natural, more true to life to me. Less processed, and it just works. To me, this is the view, this is how it looks, and I kind of set up, prefer it. Zero work needed, plug it, play it, no tweaking needed. Cool, natural with zero work. The Logitech runs a little bit warmer. Some people will love that, but for my own eyes, the EMEET clearly wins this fight straight out of the box. And in low light conditions, okay, let me start turning off all my lights and turn off all the big lights that I have right here. So I'm going to say, hey, Google, turn off studio lights. So that is some of my camera lights off now. Hey, Google. Hey, Google, turn off key light switch. And this is just the natural light in my office with the top light shining above me. That is how this works. And I'm going to turn off all the lights now. Hey, Google, turn off top light. Now, zero lighting condition. This is how the board shine. And as you can see behind me here, and I'm going to sort of put my head to the light. Zero lighting condition, this is how it looks for this view. Of course, my main webcam view is right there on my desk setup with the window lights coming shining on my face. But for recording and stuff, if you have a small studio probably facing the wall, the lights at your back, this is how they're gonna look. And I think this is sort of a real test also of how these webcams really do perform. To be honest, neither of them fall apart, but still, personal preference, the EMEET C960 Ultra wins this one for me, because of course sometimes you probably do not have light to use this camera. So let's turn the lights back on. Hey Google, turn on studio lights. And just my studio lights on now. Hey Google, lights on. All right, and that is the full light back on right now. Now let's go to the subject of autofocus and see how both of these really do shine. I'm gonna point my phone here at the C960 Ultra and see how it performs, how it focuses. Okay, and I'm gonna do that also for the MX Brio. It's like the focus really does never change. Look at that. You see that? With no tweaking, say I was doing a product showcase. How is it gonna work? The focus is a little bit off on the MX. Oh, I'm gonna actually show one that it's supposed to show text. See that? You see that? You judge for yourself which one you think is really better in terms of autofocus. So I hold up different things to the lenses and we'll see how they actually perform. I'm not going to go into the tech of what each of them contain in terms of autofocus technology, but I'm going to let you decide as a lay user which one actually you do prefer in terms of focusing and trying to get things off. If this was just your studio camera, which one would you use? If this was just the thing you use for content creation and making your livelihood, which one would you go for? But I think for me, the image is snappier and clearer still at about half the price. You get what I'm saying? Okay. in terms of microphone, although, disclaimer here, I would never, ever recommend you use a webcam microphone for audio. For your conference calls, for your meetings, for video, for content creation, I would not recommend it. But if that is all you have, this is what they sound like with your fan blowing at full speed. And I've been doing all the record. I'm just gonna let you know which one of the microphones are actually doing this. Both have been forming microphones, so they try to capture the audio coming right in front of you. And you can see how it really sounds like. So I'm going to do 3 sets of audio right now so you can hear. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. I did mention that both of these cameras, because they are cameras literally these days now, they come with their own apps. And I want to show you a bit unscripted how they actually do work out of the box. No rehearsals done for this one. This is the MX Brio that I'm trying to customize right here. And this was the default view that it actually came with out of the box, default. So this is what it looks like at 78 degrees field of view, which was what we actually started with. And this is what it looks like at 65 degrees field of view. So 78 degrees coupled with 1.5 times zoom or 2 times zoom. That is what that is going to look like. And you can configure auto framing for it such that it will try to follow you around, sort of, in a way, in the room, which is actually really good. I think I like now the auto framing settings on this one now compared to the default view. It actually, so if I put it back to default, this is how it looks as default. And this is auto framing, sort of coming to meet me now where I'm at to be able to sort of get a full view. I mentioned I prefer the C960 because it gave me sort of a full view of how I'm supposed to look on a call. And that is what this is giving me now. And I can modify the framing speed to be faster, and I can create presets for it. Framing distance should be closer for me. No? Yeah, I prefer close-up shots really when I'm doing this kind of things, and I can go make it further, which is kind of cool. Make it back to default. I'm gonna set this back to default now and just set the auto framing to the default setting it's supposed to be at. So I'm gonna leave the Logitech at auto framing settings now. I'm not sure it's following me around anymore now. All right, and you can modify the exposure and everything, sort of set the colors as you want for streaming, and for manual exposures, you can still you can set all that, reset to default. Thank you. This was the default, really? I don't think so. No, they're trying to scam me now because the color really did change now. So I'm gonna put it at streaming, low light compensation also on, automatic exposure, or I can modify. I think I'm gonna set automatic exposure to off for this one. I'm gonna do a full video demo of actually how this is supposed to work. This is not a demo video. I'm gonna go in depth into each of those devices later on the channel. So do subscribe to actually do that. And I can modify the focus settings, manual focus, default focus. I'm gonna leave that as default. Now, coming to the C960 Ultra now, I have just finished installing the EMEET Studio application, and I will go therefore to launch that. I'm going to close down the Logitech options software now, and this is asking me it's a beta version. Ignore that for now. So this is the EMEET C960 Ultra. In all the default settings it's supposed to have, I can maximize if I wanted to. Maximize is kind of good. And I can set the focus style to auto or manual. I can also have image effect. I'm going to put that as auto. Flicker settings, 60 Hz for me. You can modify the brightness and shine forth like the sun. I'm going to reset all that to default. Yes, please. Because I actually loved it out of the box. You can flip your image. If that's something you're looking at, you can actually do that too. So if you're doing a top-down shot or some inverted shot, you can do that. And you can actually have a virtual camera, which is good. The software, I think, is better. It's packed. It's got stuff. You can also set the audio. Good. You can also monitor your mic. That is good. Oh, it's got beauty settings. I'm not sure I'm gonna be using those anyway. I like how I look in my shoots, so I'm gonna leave that as default. So that is that about the settings really. I don't want to go so much and delve into this. This is gonna be a full video on its own on how each of these webcams really do work in terms of their software options. But do know that if you want to tweak in your settings, you can actually go in depth to customize them to your satisfaction. Unplug these cameras from where they are and actually give you a proper real deal close-up. The bodies of both of them actually look premium. Both aluminum body, they feel premium, both of them, in terms of weight and size and heftiness to them. They really do look good. The Logitech, on the other hand, leans in sustainability with recycled plastic and materials, low carbon aluminum. Nice if that matters to you, really. And the C960 Ultra just feels like a solid, heavy, well-made bit of kit. Neither of them feel like 93 pounds, although we know now that one of them is. And talking about price and where you can actually get this camera. So one feature I did not actually talk about, both of them do feature this privacy shutters that you can flip on and off to get to work. The EMEET is £93 at the time of recording this, and the Logitech was £161 on Amazon, £180 currently on Logitech website, $220 a couple of days back. So the question you're asking yourself is the extra price on the Logitech really worth it, or should I stick with my £128 cheaper EMEET C960 Ultra? The answer should be clear to you right now if you've watched this video up until this point. The thing is, what does that extra money really mean to you? And what does it not buy you? Meaningfully, 4K difference doesn't really matter if you can tweak your images as you wish with the software, because you can with both of them. And let me make this simple for you, right? If I was going to spend my own money, okay, to buy this, don't get me wrong, I have a load of Logitech devices that I bought with my money. EMEET always do send me devices to review for them. That does not matter for me. Buy the Logitech Brio 4K if you manage a fleet of cameras for your company, if you need auto framing in your camera because you move around a lot. To be honest, if this was not a comparison of just these two cameras, I would not recommend either of them for auto framing, not even the Logitech. I would recommend the Autofocus tiny webcams because that is what I've bought and used, and they work fantastically well for me. Now, if you prefer a warmer, more processed look and the price does not bother you, the 4K Brio is still for you. But this is the underdog here. Buy the EMEET SmartCam C960 Ultra if you're a creator, a professional, or any team that wants top tier 4K without overspending. Startups, small and medium businesses, even larger companies that do not need central fleet software. That money you're saving over hundreds and thousands of employees can go into something more meaningful for your company or for the planet. The C960 probably belongs on your desk and on your worker's desk if that is what you're looking for. And this is my verdict before I wrap up this entire video. The Logitech MX Brio 4K would win if you need to manage a fleet of cameras across your IT department, and this is real and a specific need. Yes, there's need for that. MX Brio for that. For almost everyone else, and for companies that want to save money and still get quality, professional looking video for their employees, the C960 Ultra is for the smarter buy. It is not that Logitech is bad in terms of that, it's just that this does offer better quality for cheaper out of the box. Because I'm not going to tell my salespeople to start tweaking stuff in their webcam. No, just plug it, play it, and it works. And hey, if you're doing a podcast, you're inviting a guest on your podcast, okay? You send out kits to them. You don't want to be spending hundreds of dollars, hundreds of pounds on a webcam that might get damaged in transit. Give them this. You're saving that money, and of course, the insurance costs probably not skyrocket, even if this gets missing in transit. You can just send another one because you got double the money in your pocket now. So the EMEET is what I recommend. And this, say, get me right, this is not because they send it out to me and paid for this. No, it is simply because for me, and what I recommend on this channel and for anyone that speaks to me is value wins over money. It is expensive, that does not mean it is the most valuable thing you can get. There are a lot of gadgets in my setup that are not as expensive as I would buy other ones. Yes, I do buy expensive stuff, but only if they offer the value that I'm looking for in them. None of my monitors here, although this is an ultra wide at the back of me right here, this is a £300 ultra wide monitor. I could have gone for a £600, a £1,000. I decided not to because this would offer me the value I need out of it and make this money back with me for me to be able to buy more things that are valuable in my setup. Now, finally, yes, truly finally now, if this webcam comparison has saved you about £67 to £110, you can say thank you by giving a like and subscribing to this channel, and feel free to share with someone because it does help the channel and it does help people discover that you don't need to spend double the money to get the right quality of webcam. Also, let me know in the comment section which one you would actually go for if you're comparing these two as your options to get. And I will drop the links to actually get either of them in the video description depending on what your choice and final decision is. And depending on the time I'm able to find, I will drop also the spec sheet for both of them in the video description and comment, or just check out their websites or when you go into the product descriptions also. Are you team value or team flagship? Let me know in the comment section and I'll see you again in another video. Oh, and if you like videos like this, you can either watch this one or this one right here where I talk about multi-OS setup and why Windows versus Mac versus Linux does not really matter, or you can actually check out this one right here where I talk about my journey into using and switching to Mac OS as my daily driver after using Windows for over 15 years. Not because Windows is bad now, but because my MacBook here actually wins on a lot of things. I'll see you again. Safe trip. Stay safe. Safe trip, really? Dara, you can do that. Stay safe and goodbye.